Who is the real Ben Mitchell? Another Reddit video where we discuss the aftermath of the exit of current Ben Mitchell, Max Bowden, and all in all, just generally, now that it's over, what do we think about it, and what do people think about it? Now, I just wanna read a comment on one of our YouTube videos that came off the podcast because someone look, right, that podcast is very anti Max Bowden, Ben Mitchell, and hey, maybe it's some people's first Ben Mitchell, and that's perfectly fine. But someone was coming for me, and I was not ready for their shit. Someone came at me in the fucking episode, and this is what the channel will become. It is purely petty grievances. So fuck you. They said Harry Reid's Ben wasn't consistently happy by any stretch, whereas Max's Ben was on the screen getting help and discussing his trauma. It seems like you're only seeing what fits your bias. And, you know, I'm fucking reading that in bed like, alright, homie. Alright. So I gave it a response. I gave it a little response. I went for what? 3 weeks while Jay was struggling? Let me ask if it's changed any of his behaviour. No. He got loud and piped up at Jay. I didn't mean consistently happy. There was a lot of darkness, but there was a genuine want to A, not be like Phil, and B, become a better person, strive to be happy. This Ben hasn't been happy for years. Stop cherry picking my words and events. Stop cherry picking my words and events to suit your bias. So we'll get to see if we get a response from that one. But all in all, fuck that person. I think your bias is changing the events. Yeah, so's yours, you fucking daft little bastard. Come on, at least give me that. Fuck's sake. There we are. Let's read the post, though. Because there are some fairly unhinged things, and then I'll ask you who your Ben Mitchell is. If there will be a new Ben Mitchell, what qualities would you like for him? Who is Ben? Fucking thesis going on here, waxing philosophy. Even the writers don't know anymore. They keep getting him wrong. Was he always meant to be how Charlie Jones portrayed him? But Brian Kirkwood, who is the most hated producer making bad decisions, started a ripple of bad Bens. When Ben came back as Horrid Ben, who killed Hev, played by Joshua Pascoe, the actor was terrible, but this guy's personality reminds me of Max Bowden's version. I think he's just the older version of Joshua Pascoe, completely erasing development from Harry Reid, skipping on his good qualities. Or is he the complete opposite of Phil, or a thug? I reckon he was always meant to be emotionally intelligent, but not a fighter or wannabe Phil, or a daddy approval seeker. Even Jay back then was tougher, harder than him. Now they swap positions so much now Ben can finish him in a fight. Let's shine a light to the problem with an important character they always got wrong. Original intention with Charlie Jones. He seems most memorable. So I don't know what the fuck that word means. With the glass, especially with the glasses. I hate they got rid of that. Not sure the actor was so poor that he came out unintentionally funny. Yeah, they mention obviously the famous lines of the "What are you going to do to me, Mr. Johnson?" That fucking line is still funny to me.
Wait, that was the original Ben with the one who went, "You need slapping down."
Yeah, like it's so good. That's I don't like "you need slapping down" because we've overused it to fuck. But where obviously Lucas has like found him after he's just smacked fucking Jordan after saying "you need slapping down." Lucas, murderer, all fucking livid. And he is just like, "What are you going to do to me, Mr. Johnson?" It's just, oh, it's so good. I love it. It's so good. It's such a good line.
The problem is, I don't want to blame like child actors, but it's just us that they can't really deliver emotion. Like there is a few exceptions.
No, they can. I think it's just, look, he was a squeaker, and that's fine. He was like 10 years old. But that was just pathetic Ben, who was terrified of everything and everyone. Like, that was good enough. I appreciate it.
Bring him back.
Like, "You need slapping down" was Ben trying to be like Phil, and then obviously this one is Ben being Ben. Also, holy, I just realised the original poster is not a Max Bowden stan. I'll say that much. Or is he a prick like Max Bowden played him? Just a wannabe Phil, or is he a nice balance in between Harry Reid and not always an arse, but mostly to be a good lad? I think nobody wants gangster or dodgy deal related stories from him, i.e. him blackmailed, him tormenting Martin, the human trafficking story, his return story in 2019 says it all. Getting revenge on Phil for being a bad dad, even though they left on good terms. Some qualities I'd like for whoever the next Ben is likeable and sympathetic. Alright, so after all that, who's your favourite Ben?
Harry Reid, because that's the one I grew up with and that's the one I associate with. It like again, I have no problem if you like Max Bowden, because you will always feel that comfort with the first Ben you were introduced with. Like people are gonna be, I forgot the Charlie Jones.
Yes,
Is that the squeaky one?
That's the
like
kid, yeah.
People might associate him with Charlie Jones. What are you gonna do to me, Mr. Johnson? Like if people might go, that's my Ben Mitchell. So like it all depends really on when you got into soaps.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I view it.
Like
it's like Johnny basically. How everyone's like, there's 3 Johnnies, so you either group the first, second, or third one. It's like Peter, where there's like 6 of them. I want to say
there's a lot of them, yeah. There's at least 4.
Like, yeah, so like everyone has grew up with like one of them basically. Like unless it's a consistent actor who always returns, like Tiffany or Big Mo or Lucas. Like so it just depends. But I go for Harry Reid. I like Harry Reid. He has the glasses. It's not. I think it's Harry Reid. But one of my cousins looks like, the reason why I keep thinking Harry Reid's a stocky fella is because one of my cousins looks like Ben Mitchell. He has the glasses and he's a bit more stocky.
Yeah.
So I just associate him with Ben Mitchell, even though he's not Ben Mitchell.
Yeah, I will agree that I do think Harry Reid is the most interesting Ben Mitchell. I think this current the Max Bowden Ben Mitchell was probably a bit more like acted a bit better in a sense. Like he's probably a bit, he could do the angrier stuff a little bit more. He could do I don't know. I describe his Ben Mitchell as much more raw and kind of like very. It's all or nothing really. Every pain he faces is the worst possible pain you could ever feel, and it's the worst thing ever. Whereas, I don't know. I guess it's a difference where the previous Ben Mitchell obviously got a bit more like light stuff to do. Like, relationship with Abby, struggling with his sexuality. Oh, his fucking boyfriend's been murdered in front of them. Sound. Yeah, but that was mostly it. Like, it wasn't all bad all the time. And that's just the issue where, because, at the start of the Max Bowden stuff, when he returned 2019, Ben Mitchell was my favourite character. Like, it's finally, he's back. Yeah, it's not the fucking actor I'd like to play him, but, let's give him a chance. And, he did pretty much become the main character for that time period. He became a very important character to that era of the show. And I enjoyed him at the time. I enjoyed the Callum stuff as it developed, but the second it stopped actually developing and the love story felt like it was over, well, that's where a lot of the character got a lot less interesting, because it's like, oh yeah, you've got your character now, but, well, we have to give him some other storylines now. The love story's over. Like, I remember, I'm pretty sure I made a post on the EastEnders subreddit where I was thirsting over Ben Mitchell, which is funny in retrospect. It was funny in retrospect, but like, I used to be there. I was arguing. It has been deleted. I can't have that on my record. Especially because I don't think the current Ben Mitchell is particularly attractive anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But in the end, I'll say, just to wrap this round and we'll get what other people think. Like I said, I get that, I get it's the difference between having to grow up fast and having to, like, fucking, slowly get through it. It felt like Harry Reid and Jay, it felt like those two got to genuinely somewhat be brothers in the show and grow up together and kind of actually, that like, family bond in a sense. They had each other's back no matter what, and it felt like for the longest time they even disregarded this. I think the issue with New Ben Mitchell is it felt like they were disgusted with the previous one. Like, they're like, oh, what? And he's just gonna accept Phil even though Phil's been a shit dad to him. Nah, that's not me. That's not happening. Like, they wanted to, like, harden him up, but I don't know. It should have been done in a different way, in my opinion. Like, I've got my takes, and that's fine. I don't think Ben should ever be the son that Phil wants. I'm sure Phil will be happy with him eventually, but I still think that Phil inherently is a terrible dad, and he shouldn't fucking like, he tries to love his son, but he's not who he wants. That's not the son he wanted. I don't think Ben should ever be good enough for Phil in Phil's eyes. And I think that's a really good reason for Ben to not be like Phil and never try to be like Phil, because he realizes that Phil's toxic. But that's just my take. That one's for all the Ballum stands out there. Fuck you. It's a terrible relationship. It peaked in 2019 and got shitter from there.
My take is just it all depends on what you want in a Ben Mitchell. Like, if you want comedy Ben Mitchell, then you're going to obviously like child Ben Mitchell, Charlie Jones, and then that weird fucker in between Charlie Jones and Harry Reid.
We don't like to remember him.
He doesn't look like, the problem is Charlie Jones. Yes, you associate him with Ben Mitchell, and then Harry Reid looks like Charlie Jones, kind of. The one in the middle just looks like a snot-nosed punk. Like, he just looks out of place.
He does. It does. I guess, you could genuinely say that. The Charlie Jones Harry Reid look kind of similar. You could see that they would grow up to be the same. And it feels like the Joshua Pascoe one and the Max Bowden, it felt like they were the evolution of each other. Where they went for this gritter, harder edge, and, like, nobody wants it. It's Ben Mitchell. What are you trying to prove? Like, no one cares.
Still my favourite Charlie Jones. I think it's Charlie Jones' Ben Mitchell. It's the one in the court. Is in the courthouse with Phil, and he's going Phil, and then Phil's actually going Ben. Oh, I fucking love it. I love it. It's so shit.
I mean, I remember looking back at that, and I don't even remember fucking. I don't even remember it happening. I think, like, yeah. You have to find it for me at some point. There we are. That's our takes. Let's wrap the rest of this with seeing what people think. Harry Reid was the best version of Ben, for sure. A lot of people say it's Max Bowden, but I think Max is the best overall actor, so people are biased towards his version of Ben. If he's ever recast, they should bring back Harry Reid, or at least keep the misunderstood yet well-intentioned vibe he had. Yeah, I suppose, like, morally wise, this previous Ben Mitchell was involved with a lot of dodgy shit. Like, he was involved in human trafficking. Like, and everybody's like, oh, he's just a damaged character. He's human trafficking, for fuck's sake. Like, yeah, it's one of the worst things you can possibly fucking do. Like, come on. He's tormenting the Slaters for like half a year. He got fucking someone killed in prison. Like, man alive. He's just a damaged character, guys. Oh, grow up. Ballum's not even a good relationship. Alright, someone says Max Bowden is 100% Ben. I wasn't really a fan of Harry Reid. He never felt like Ben to me. Also, I really enjoyed the gangster/dodgy deals evil version of Ben in 2019. The human trafficking. Yeah, classic. Put that on your fucking tombstone. I love the human trafficking, by the way.
Clip
ordering
that.
a
Clip that.
hitman to kill Billy, all the loan shark stuff, ordering Keanu's death. I really enjoyed all that. I would love to see more of it in the future when we get our next Ben. No. No, I'm good, thanks. I know it's personal preference, but this person's mental. So, sorry. I say that. We enjoyed the Dean character, so, you know.
Well, just to clear your name, I enjoyed the Dean character you put up with it. That's the thing. Just to clear your name, I
I'll
don't
just
want you to
say,
be
I'll
associated with
just
you anyway.
fully, I do like to go hard on these Reddit videos because, I don't know, Reddit's the lowest form of fucking social media, in my opinion. But, this is all subjective. We all have different characters that we like. I personally rather my Ben Mitchell to not be a criminal and trying to be better, but some people like the criminal side. I don't.
It's like, because you go to Reddit for porn. Like, let's be honest. So it's like if you go into Pornhub for the acting. If that makes sense. What's the point? You're not going to find opinions because you're going to have some dipshit who thinks he knows he's correct and he's going to have this conspiracy that the solar eclipse means it's the end of the world and the apocalypse is upon us and Jesus is going to come down and strike us to death.
I will
And it's
say,
like, mate, are you tripping balls? I
someone's
did just
made a
take
comment
3 brownies.
that's reminded me that I also will say Ben Mitchell feels wrong without glasses. Like, I don't know why they decided to just not make him wear glasses. Like, for fuck's sake, boys. Make him wear the glasses. It's Ben Mitchell's character. He's a specky nerd. For fuck's sake. He's a loser. Make him wear the glasses. Like I said, I think it's just they didn't want Ben Mitchell to be the same from Harry Reid, and they wanted him. Like I said, I've always said this, and I don't know how often I've said this on camera, but it's probably a lot at this point. But it's a fucking look. My issue with this Ben Mitchell is it feels like you could have brought him in as a Mitchell like friend of the family, and it would have made more sense than bringing him in as Ben Mitchell. Like, in my world, I'd say you bring in this Max Bowden as like one of Phil's like associates. You bring him in. He's infinitely better than than actual Ben Mitchell. And Phil starts favouring him over his actual son. Isn't that more of an interesting storyline than what we got? Like, that's the whole point of the Ben Mitchell character. He overcompensates trying to be the son that Phil wants, but he misunderstands it and goes too far. It's why he killed Heather. Harry Reid's absolutely my Ben. Probably helped with the fact that no one rated Joshua Pascoe before him. Remember Harry Reid's first scene and immediately thought he looks like Ben. I always thought he played a nice balance of wanting to be a normal guy, but also had the angry side to him and get caught up in crimes and wanting to prove himself to his dad. Can't put it into words, I just thought that Harry Reid nailed it on the head. And he's the one who went through the Paul stuff, which was great. And I was gutted, and he left suddenly, and the recast of Max Bowden literally came within a few months, so it felt incredibly jarring, and I was gutted about Harry Reid. However, Max Bowden has, of course, played him now for 5 years, so you do get, of course, used to that, and he has done a great job. I just thought Max was our forever Ben. I didn't see him written out whatsoever. The highlight for me was when he's going through the hearing loss of that episode where we're hearing it from Ben's perspective. I can't remember the thing about trafficking storyline which people keep mentioning did happen. Keanu was supposed to do it. Keanu had a conscience. Ben went, fuck it, I'll do it. That was what happened. Main issue with Max, although it's not really a big deal, is they ditched the glasses. I like Ben in glasses. I remember one of the scenes they were in the Vic. They kind of went like, oh, Ben, where's the glasses? Haha, oh, I wear contacts now. It's like great. And secondly, I've always hated the way they styled Max's Ben. Don't know why it so it stood out to me. Never liked the outfits, never seemed very Ben to me, and Max would occasionally overact, but he's still been a great Ben. Shame to see him go. Love if they randomly brought Harry Reid back, but Max does look older, so it might feel odd to bring younger looking Ben back. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up as Ben next.
It's gonna be Ash.
I look. I don't have any of the acting ability. Sorry, boys. I'm not an actor. I think I'd be
It'll be
confused
better-
at the idea of a set. Like, you what? This isn't real. Yeah, but it's just act like it is. Yeah, but it's not though. It's sound.
He'd still be better than Joshua Pascal. So
But yeah, I think it's. I will say the Max Bowden Ben Mitchell is definitely like second or third easily. But just the way that they took the character and kind of fucking murked it in the end is pretty fucking annoying. And like, but like I said, I would, yeah. My ideal is just bringing back Harry Reid. Like, I don't know. I just kind of. I say that Ben was always striving to be a better person. You could tell that the Harry Reid Ben Mitchell always wanted to be a good person, but then the Max Bowden one just went, I'm damaged. Okay, here's all the reasons for me being a fucking terrible partner and a terrible son and a terrible fucking friend and a terrible person. It's not my fault. I have trauma, and it's like, fucks, come on. You can't be doing it like this, lads. You can't. But there we are. Who is Ben Mitchell in your eyes? Tell us in the comment section down below. Who is the real Ben Mitchell? As said before, we personally say Harry Reid. And I look forward to the time in the Who Killed Lucy stuff where we do get to see like Prime Ben and fucking get to see all that stuff. Because I'll be like rubbing my nipples over it. Hypothetically in a video game in Minecraft. Just absolutely fucking gunning for it. It'll be great. And yeah, so as I said before, tell us what you think in the comment section down below. This is the week of the bulk. This is the bulk recording episode, so a lot of the stuff coming out this week will be recorded today, and obviously tomorrow is when Piggy gets in, and then the rest of the stuff will be recorded in person as a whole, so the Q&A, the fan fiction, etc., etc. So make sure to watch this space and the Q&A, and keep watching Walford. Thank you for watching. We have links in the description for all the stuff you should follow if you're a fan of us. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join us for the next one. See you then. Bye-bye.